Hello and welcome to In the Court of the Wenton Groove. This is live groove, King Knave. This is live. You see the cover is reminiscent of Space Groove, but it's very different live. Maybe Belew's been practicing, or maybe you haven't been practicing at all on Space Groove. It's all played faster. They should have released this as the mainstream release instead of Space Groove. This is actually on the box set. You have to remember, Adrian Belew is an all-round musician. He can play anything. He's not a guitarist. He's in everything. You can tell he's not a drummer, which is unkind, but he's doing very silly rhythms and very busy stuff, so that's not entirely fair. And they're clearly having fun. That's the important thing. But what is happening, you can already hear it. The music's starting to get heavier and scarier. The spectre of the Crimson King is starting to eke into it, and that's why I'm saying this is King Crimson, though it's not technically because it doesn't say it on it. It's a fraction of King Crimson. Whatever's there, on live 69, 73, 74, 72, in 81, it's there. It's there on this stuff. It isn't there on the less good eras, Or at least it's starting to come in at this point. I think, drum and bass, but all wobbly, is the best way to describe Project Two. Calling it drum and bass, that's speculation. We don't know the influence of dance music was a thing. Until later it was actually explicitly mentioned, I think, in 2000. But I hear that. Fripp's thing, like you said, it's not jazz, it's not quite rock, and he's not a jazz rock player, so that's a thing on there, as well as the drumming, which all comes from Michael Giles. Just remember, the mad drumming, the cacophony drumming is Michael Giles' thing, and that's maybe something Fripp is trying to invoke through the history of the band, without having to actually have Michael Giles in the band. And it has a groove. It is groovy music, and of course, people would have booked to go and see this. Well, that's always King Crimson, isn't it? Doing a thing. The three members of King Crimson, let's go and see that. And the visible distaste on their faces from the audience. Excellent. That's what you need. The old farts coming in and saying, I want to hear 21st Century Schizoid Man. Hearing this silly stuff, that's just brilliant, and that's great. And hopefully alienated those people so they can move forward with new interesting music. So track one is Sus-Tayn-Z. From now on I'll just call that Sus-Tayn-Z. This is great. Where did this come from? You can imagine being in the club and filling the whole club with this sound of brrr. Wonderful, why wasn't that on Space Groove? Maybe being in front of an audience, has an effect. Track two, heavy construction. Really busy construction, Fripp and Belew. A really, really busy Belew with Gunn and Fripp playing construction over the top, basically, but it's really heavy. Then we have track three, a track called The Deception of the Thrush. Now this is a big one. Historic moment really that we've got to hear, and again this is not on Space Groove, so they wrote this before the tour. Maybe the best project piece, and therefore one of the best King Crimson pieces, and possibly grew out of a thrack in 96, Philly 96, which I think I mentioned, possibly maybe. Trey triggers these Dylan Thomas samples on his stick. It has two parts. There's this sort of thumping thing going on, and they quietly play over the top, and they can do it any way they like, as fast as slow as they like. Really, really heavy. And then there's a sort of blissful payoff in the second half, which is just soundscapes with a lyrical stick solo over the top of it. It's just amazing. It's one of those things you can't describe. You have to hear Deception of the Thrush. Later on they would play around with silence, and that it would stop. But at this point it hadn't got that dynamic at this point. But yeah, so like I said, one of the best things in the entire catalogue is Deception of the Thrush. There's lots of different versions. I think I'll go for Project 4, possibly double duo Deception of the Thrush, maybe. So track 4, X-chayn-jiZ. X-chayn-jiZ. Essentially construction, but with silly heavy synths, sort of. It's quite funny. Track 5, light construction. I think the light version works better, and I think they agree because of where it went. Track 6, vector shift to Planet Detroit. I assume that was recorded in Detroit. This blows away the Space Groove soft light stuff. This is great, It's essentially the same thing, just heavier and faster. Track 7, ConstruKction, which became Into the Frying Pan, the country notes go like that. But here with pots and pans and stuff, which is great. You can tell really bloody loud and fast. I think originally titled Country Motion, maybe. Then track 8 is Live Groove, which is Fast Space Groove. I think that was an encore, maybe. Track 9, Vector Shift to Planet Belewbeloid. You can still at this point you can hear where it's coming from. Baboom, so much of it, and it becomes the the marimba thing. And then track 10, 21st Century Schizoid Man. What? Really? That's quite funny. I mean, it's the fast Fripp pen bit. It's that bit played to a rhythm, which is funny. Great for learning to play it. Actually, if you want to play it a bit tighter, play along with that for a bit. That helps. And there's a hidden bit after. There's a whole gap of silence, and then we have a bit of audience sound at the end of that as well. Interestingly. So yeah, that's a really good one. Live Groove. See you next week.